My dear brothers and sisters, I'm not gonna greet you today with the Shalom Aleichem that I normally do, and the reason for that is because I haven't said my morning prayer yet, and it is considered improper to greet a fellow human being before you actually pray to God in the morning. So in this video I would like to talk to you about what can a Jew do on the beach. Firstly, I want to say that I had to wake up early in the morning to come here. And the reason for that, because so that before all the promiscuity, so to speak, wakes up. And as you all know that, on the beach women dress improperly, so it's really not proper for Jews to go on the beach when all the women are here. So therefore, the only way I can really come here is early in the morning before everybody wakes up. And there's not many people here. And maybe there's people in the distance, very far distance, and all I gotta do is take my glasses off and I can't even see that far. So maybe that's why God made sure that Jews have glasses nowadays. I'm just joking, obviously it's because Jews read a lot, but it sometimes helps as well. So, and this is one of the things that I believe that should be, in Israel we have a luxury of having separate beaches. Like certain days are for men, certain days are for women. They do have that to accommodate for the religious population. Now in the United States, obviously we don't. Although in my opinion, I truly believe that modesty is something that should be enforced. It shouldn't be optional. I believe in freedom, but to a certain degree. Not total freedom where anybody can do anything he wants. There's a truck coming through, you'll hear some sound. Let the truck pass. Okay, so as I was saying, I do believe in freedom, but not in total freedom where everybody can do anything. That's why certain things I believe that should be enforced. One of them is modesty. And the reason I say that, and when I say that, I mean even for the non-Jews. I'm not talking about for the Jews only. And the reason I say that because sexual immorality is one of the 7 categories of laws that the non-Jews, meaning the descendants of Noah, have to observe. It's one of the 7 things that God gave to Noah, revealed to Noah for his descendants. And therefore modesty is something related to that. Therefore, I believe that modesty is something that should be enforced. Anyways, what I wanted to say is that what's the reason for me coming here today? So in Judaism we have a concept called mikvah, and mikvah, what it is a cleansing process. And in order to cleanse, one has to dip into the mikvah. Now what is a mikvah? A mikvah is a natural body of water. It could be the sea, it could be like a lake, it could be even rainwater gathered up. And that's called a mikvah. And now the reason to do this, now a person can take a shower and stuff like that. But shower cleanses the body physically, but on a spiritual level a person really needs a mikvah. And back in the days when Jews had the temple, and the first temple was built by King Solomon, peace be upon him. The second temple was built by the prophet Ezra and his generation, peace be upon them. And when Jews had the temple, before a Jew is allowed to walk into the temple, if he became contaminated, he was not allowed to walk into the temple. He actually had to cleanse himself. Now, how can a Jew get contaminated? What kind of contamination? So there are several ways. For example, if a Jew touched the dead body of an animal, let's say a dead cow that was not slaughtered in a proper kosher way, then that contaminates a person. And therefore, before walking into the temple, a person had to cleanse himself. And the way to cleanse himself is going into the mikvah. Another way a person can contaminate himself is by touching a dead, crawling, creeping creature like a mouse or a lizard. There's 8 types of these creatures that if a person touched them or stepped on them, then the person has to cleanse himself. Another way, if a person, let's say, had intercourse even with his wife, person has to, before walking into the temple, he would actually have to cleanse himself. And therefore, back in the days, it was really important before going onto the temple mount to actually clean yourself before you would walk in. Nowadays, we don't have the temple, and therefore it doesn't really change our everyday life whether we are cleansed or not, because we don't have temple, we don't do the sacrifice, and therefore we're not really required to do that. However, one thing to keep in mind is that this process still cleanses you. And it's good, on a spiritual level. In fact, there are some Jews that go to mikvah every day, every morning, to cleanse themselves before they pray. Even though by law it's not required, but it's just like a tradition that they do. So that's really the reason why I came here. So I'm gonna, go down right now. I'm gonna take my tzitzit off and my glasses off, and I'm just gonna dip in, several times into the ocean. And God willing, this will, cleanse me, and then I'm gonna go to prayer, God willing. As you can see, the sun just came up recently, just now. Therefore, it's, pretty almost empty here. I mean, there are some people in the way in distance. No women, thank God. So, not that I can see at least. Thank God. All right, so I'm gonna dip in. Thank you for watching.